Welcome to your all-active Reserve and Veterans TV series. This information education show has three goals: tell who military veterans are, share about all organizations, auxiliaries, their programs and officers at all levels, and tell about memorials in all the cities we serve in this network. The VA system, state and county officers, hospitals and state homes are also featured. Please do check out our websites. Share your program ideas and concerns via the contact information on the show. We open each month's show with a patriotic theme.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous night, at the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, get through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner that wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you for joining us once again for Vets Visits on TV. This is program number 154 for the month of January, and this is our co-host.
I'm Brad Lindsay, Olmsted County Veteran Service Officer.
And I'm Jerry Barnhart, the founder and producer of the show. And Brad, the weather outside is frightening.
It's definitely frightening.
Yeah. Snow over much of the Midwest as we tape today, and we hope that all of you are safe and sound. Now let's note our dates in history. We note first of all that on the 1st of January, of course, is a Happy New Year to each and every one of you, we note, and it was the Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1863. 2 years later, on the 31st of January, the 13th Amendment was approved to abolish slavery. The third Monday of January is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and that, of course, is a national holiday. And the 17th, in 1991, Operation Desert Storm with the Gulf War was in effect. On the 27th in 1973, the Treaty of Paris signed that closed the Vietnam War. Brad, what's our first feature for today?
Well, Jerry, we try to balance our showing of the efforts of various veterans groups. So Jerry has selected 3 VFW officers to open our January show. First, the Minnesota Auxiliary President, Terry Finn, shares some projects. Then she introduces the National President, Lorraine Fryer of Fargo, North Dakota.
Good morning and welcome to Vets Visits, and you are?
I'm Terry Finn. I'm the Department President for the Veterans of Foreign Wars Ladies Auxiliary.
In Minnesota.
Correct.
Okay, and your year ends?
On Saturday, this
On
weekend.
Saturday.
This weekend, yes.
You're in June, but this won't be shown for a few months yet. What have been some of the outstanding events that have happened during your year as president?
Oh, it's been just an awesome year. It's we have 10 National Ladies Auxiliary programs and a few programs that are just exclusive to the state of Minnesota.
Would you like to share what some of those are?
Oh, certainly. We have a large cancer aid and research program where on the national level we try to raise $3 million for cancer aid and research.
At the VA Medical Center?
Well, that's
in general?
nationwide for our national organization.
Okay.
But the ladies of this department sell cancer aid and research jewelry and jackets to help fund the cancer aid and research program. And
That's great. That is great. Is there another one that you'd like to plug?
well, our Veterans and Family Support is a very big program which covers 10 individual segments of the program. And our main objective, though, is to help our veterans, their families, and our communities throughout the state of Minnesota.
Thank you. Now, who is our special guest from National?
We have here today our past national president, Lorraine Fryer, from the state of North Dakota.
Welcome, Ms. Fryer.
Thank you very much.
And what particular city in North Dakota?
I'm from Fargo, North Dakota. However, I was born and raised in Osakis, Minnesota, and I joined the auxiliary under my brother, who was a life member in the post at Osakis, Minnesota. He was a Navy veteran. And I went on to school, of course, and moved into Fargo, joining the West Fargo, North Dakota VFW 7564 is my post number. And I became active in the auxiliary and went through the chairs of the local auxiliary, the district, and this Department of North Dakota, and National Council member for the nation, and then decided to run for our position that would lead up to national presidency.
And what year was that?
I became national presidency in 1999-2000, and one of the most beautiful times of my life. The opportunity that it gave me is astounding. I have friends all over the United States. I travel to every state in the United States, of course, many times up to Alaska and in Hawaii. But also I traveled extensively in Europe, South Korea twice. I was up to the DMZ. And
representing the VFW Auxiliary.
representing the VFW and the
Wonderful.
Ladies Auxiliary. Everywhere I went, I represented the Ladies Auxiliary to the Veterans of Foreign Wars. It was my honor and my privilege.
Well, we welcome you back here to this convention and
Thank
to
you.
share with the people and the various activities. And you've got some big things coming up yet the rest of this week.
We do. We have, of course, we're on our way to a luncheon now, and then, of course, we have meetings this afternoon. The ladies get all their awards for their hard work that they've done. We've just had awards with the VFW, where they've gotten the VFW has presented the caps to all the comrades, and now the ladies are going to be announced the President of the Year this afternoon, and we have many things going on. We keep busy. Everything we do is oriented to serving and our communities, but most of all, we work for our veterans.
And supporting,
without our veterans, we wouldn't be here.
and supporting their families.
And we
the
support the families, we
those that
support
are
the youth and
overseas.
our communities.
Well, I thank you very much, both of you.
On last month's show, Neil told you about the Secretary of Veterans Affairs announcing that B-cell leukemia, Parkinson's disease, and ischemic heart disease are being added to the list of diseases associated with exposure to Agent Orange in Vietnam. Although that public announcement has been made, the amendment to the regulation will not become effective for several months. In the meantime, VA regional offices have begun receiving claims for these conditions. However, the rating evaluations under these new claims cannot take place until the new implementing regulations are in place. So therefore, there's a stay currently on the rating of those disabilities. So what we urge you to do is go ahead and file those claims, and just knowing that there will be a delay to those claims, but you should still get them in to secure your date of claim in the hopes that when the final regulation is written, it will be made retroactive to when you actually filed.
Governor Pawlenty of Minnesota was the featured speaker at the opening of a VFW convention, and we'll hear a few of his comments about the VFW state commander, of whom he had these words that we will hear in a few moments. And then we'll be talking with Stan Kowalski, last year's department commander. So here's that third speaker from the VFW.
I wanted to come by and just share a few thoughts, starting with my sense of personal and professional gratitude for your commander and our commander of the VFW, Stan Kowalski. He has not only been a person who has been a patriot, he's an individual who has been steadfast in his support of veterans and the military and this country for his entire life. And he has a heart of gold. As you know, he pours himself into the cause of veterans, veterans' concerns, and veterans' advocacy. He shows up at everything, and his support is genuine and it's sincere. And one of the great honors of my life has been to be governor, but within all of that, a great honor has been to be able to lend voice and to help out with the veterans' causes. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate, well, I can tell you, I'm going to tell you how much I appreciate Stan Kowalski. Stan, you are not only a great veteran and a great patriot, but you're just a wonderfully kind-hearted and gentle and wonderful, giving, generous person, and you personify the Minnesota spirit of giving and caring for others. And I know this is a very small token of our appreciation. You get lots of certificates and plaques and stuff, but as a very small gesture of our appreciation, we'd like to give you this certificate that just says thanks, Stan, for your great leadership and service from the state of Minnesota. Thanks.
Good morning, Commander, and thank you for taking time out of your busy day to talk with us on Vets Visits. Your name is?
Well, Gerald, my name is Stan Kowalski. I'm the outgoing state commander for the Veterans of Foreign Wars, whose convention is in Rochester. It started on the 17th, will end on the 20th of June. My official day will be actually the 20th of June when I'm through as a state commander, though I'm looking to do other things.
Well, I'm sure.
And in the past while, because I do have opposition for where I want to run at a national level, and these people are telling me that I'm too old. I am a World War II vet, but I'll tell you something, people. Age is only a number. You're only as old as you feel. It's what's inside of your heart that counts. And my heart beats 24/7 for veterans. I can't help them sitting at home watching a TV show when I could be out on the road campaigning for veterans benefits and talking to the different people I know. The governor, the Secretary of State, legislative people, Amy Klobuchar, the representatives from our state, the 8 Congress people, I know them all. General Shelado, General Trost, General Nash, General Erlandson, General Kelly, those are all friends of mine that are with the Army right now. Some of them are still in Iraq. When they need something, they call me because I am pledged to get whatever they need. And if they've got members of their organization, their different units, that their family needs help, I'm right here to help them. My project this year as a special project fundraiser was MACV, the Minnesota Assistance Committee for Veterans. That means veterans and their families. I will do anything I can. I just, in the last year, I got a call from one of the retired generals, General Doyle Larson, asked me about this family woman who was trying to rent out a room, and the shower did not work, couldn't get hot water. She called me and said, is there anything you can do? The next day, I went to the union, the plumbers union, got 6 of them to go out to her house. They brought a hot water heater with them, installed it, and fixed up some other plumbing problems she had for free, because they know that when I ask them to do something, it's to help a vet or its family. So my compliments go to the plumbers union for their help too.
Who is the veteran in that family?
I'm not at liberty to give you the name. It would be a personal privacy.
I didn't want a name, but
No, that's fine. It is a woman whose husband is in Iraq at the present time with the 34th Infantry.
Excellent.
And go ahead.
The MACV project then assists the families of veterans as well as those that are still active. Is that
Definitely. MACV is the assistance for the families also, for the vets, but basically the families that are here. They arrange for all kinds of things. A lady named Kathy Vitale is in charge of this area, and
I had an interview with her about 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Excellent.
and she works hard. And I received a couple of real nice awards from MACV. Actually, I'm placing them in the name of the VFW. Awards are nice. They're nice to see and nice to get. But I don't do it for awards. I do it to help my comrades up. And in the past...
These are plaques on a wall.
Yeah, this is a wall, and they're putting plaques on walls.
That were made.
Right. I'd like to just say that in the past, in some of the speeches I've given, I said if a buddy fell in the field wounded, you wouldn't leave him lie. You'd stop and pick him up. If a sailor gets wounded with fragmentation from a bombing or a shelling, you don't leave him lay on the deck. You pick him up. These veterans that are out on the street today are wounded veterans. It's up to us to pick them up because we do not leave a veteran behind. And I'm still campaigning on the POW MIA trail. I'll give you one good example that you people might remember. Captain Spiker was shot down in Iraq during the Iraqi first movement. He was seen alive in Baghdad. Now, we've been in Baghdad 5 years. Where is our Army, our Navy, our Air Force to bring this guy's closure to his family? I would assume because we've been there that long and they can't locate him that he's no longer among us. But let's get closure for his family. Another thing that's dear to my heart, the first one that I can get to in Pearl Harbor that got killed from Minnesota is a fellow named Ira Jeffries. Now, I don't understand why Jeffries is not being honored when we honor all kinds of people that took in World War II and Korea and Nam. Here's one that gave his life willingly, that was serving our country before others of us knew we had to stand forward and serve. Ira Jeffries, and I will attempt to work with that name and that family to make sure that he gets the proper recognition due him. I'm dedicated to veterans, and I tell you something, I heard the call of the bugle. I answered the call willingly to serve veterans and their families, and I will continue to do so until I too join the ranks of those that are no longer with us but are only memories. That's my pledge.
Thank you so much for sharing your enthusiasm, your concern, your background, and that you are still serving as a World War II vet for all veterans. Thank you.
Finally, on this very cold and soon-to-be blizzard weathery day, we're going to do some reminiscing back to last fall. As I go to a remote on a beautiful morning just south of Rochester. It was a very special fundraiser called Now remember, if your organization would like to start planning for a special public golf event like Tee It Up for the Troops, please do email the veteran that we will next talk to, Bob Dunham. And note the email address, which we are showing. And you can have an event like this in your community to support the troops and their families.
Good morning, Bob Dunham, and this is a great day for what?
Jerry, good morning to you. This is a great day for our third annual Tee It Up for the Troops golf benefit.
Great.
To raise money for the soldiers and families of the current event, and also for those veterans who have served so well in the past, from Vietnam to Korea to World War II.
Okay. And how did the idea of a Tee It Up for the Troops originate?
There was a young man in Baghdad 5 years ago. His name was Tyler Ball, and he sent an email to his dad saying, "Dad, don't send me any more junk food." He said, "Instead, do something for the young men and women who come home and need help." So his dad, James Ball, said, went and did it. He used to be a general manager for a country club, and he says, "Well, I know how to put on a golf tournament." So he and a friend named Lieutenant Colonel Harry Wisdom, retired. Those are the two founders of Tee It Up for the Troops. They had a golf tournament. They raised $80,000 the first year.
Where was that?
That was up at Mendocota Country Club in Mendota Heights.
Okay,
up in the cities.
Part of the Twin Cities.
Yes.
South of the Twin Cities. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the first one.
That was the first one.
Okay.
I got involved 3 years ago, and I read about this article in the paper about this father and son and Tee It Up for the Troops. So I told my wife, it was a Sunday morning, we had come home from church, and we were having coffee and reading the paper, and I said, "Honey, this is what I'm going to do." Can't golf every day, you know that. Yeah. And I contacted these gentlemen, and I did my due diligence, my background on the organization, and they came down on January 14th of 3 years ago, and they gave us a presentation. And inside this building, we had the managers of 7 golf courses waiting for them.
Okay, wonderful.
And that's how we got started in Rochester.
Area,
we had Summerby, we had the Jewel from Lake City, and Wendell Pittenger's 5 golf courses. The managers were all here.
Mr. Pittenger bases out of this one here.
Wendell Pittenger. This is one of Wendell Pittenger's courses that he owns, Willow Creek here in Rochester. And it's run by a couple of great guys, Scott Rindall, the general manager and pro, Rod Johnson, the superintendent, who takes great care, and the best chef around. I can't think of, Dave's going to kill me, but I can't remember Dave's last name.
I have problems with that too. Our senior moments.
That's a senior moment. Yeah, it is.
Now, I'm going to do a little pan shot around here as we ask some more questions about how many, let's see, we have an honor guard that is having a little box lunch right now, I see. And then we'll be getting the opening event in a few moments, will we?
At noon, we are going to have our program. It'll be 20 to 25 minutes. We'll have an honor guard present the colors, and we'll have James Ball have the president of Tee It Up for the Troops say a few words, and invocation by Pastor Curtis Martin, singing of the national anthem. Then we'll have another short speech, and then singing of God Bless America by Grant Wachter. And then we will conclude with dual taps with Les Fields and Gene Iden.
That's wonderful.
Then they'll go out to golf.
And they do a beautiful job.
Yes, they do.
I hope you'll forgive me if I'm not a golfer. I'm what they call a duffer. I haven't picked up a golf club since I was over in Japan.
Jerry, there's 153 duffers out here today.
Okay. That's the first and only time I've ever golfed.
Oh, okay.
It was over in Japan on the inside of a racetrack overlooking Yokohama Harbor. So I'm kind of out of it, I guess. So now, about how many people did you say? About 153?
We have 153 golfers here today, and we've turned some away. That's about the most we can handle. Though last year we had 160, and in the 2 years we've presented this, we've raised $110,000.
Beautiful. Well, I hope you're successful today with that event.
I think we'll do great today. The merchants and our sponsors here in the Rochester area have been fantastic. In fact, all over southern Minnesota.
That's great. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to that opening ceremony. We have the National Guard represented today with these Humvees, which some of you viewers may well recognize. And then we have a fine golf course all trimmed down to specifications. Over here, a little ways away, a helicopter has landed. And it's all for Tee It Up for the Troops.
Right turn, forward.
like to introduce the gentleman who started Heat Up for the Troops, one of the two. The other one is standing out there. His name is Lieutenant Colonel Harry Wisdom, retired. He was a medevac pilot in Vietnam and a Silver Star winner. Harry and J.B. Ball, Jim Ball, got together and started what we are doing here today. Let me present President J.B. Ball.
Thank all of you for allowing us to be here today. Colonel Wisdom is standing. Harry, if you could just raise your hand. Very instrumental in making this thing happen over the last 5 years. But next to him is another person that's made it very instrumental, and that's his wife, Kathy. Kathy is also a nurse and a Vietnam veteran herself. Heat Up for the Troops started 5 years ago after 9/11. My son quit college and enlisted when he went to Iraq. People asked what they could send to him, and instead he said, forget about me. Do something for the families and the soldiers back home. And you extend it to those in the military. When you're walking through an airport or you pass by them, you always want to say thank you or what you do. And sometimes you don't know whether you should stop them or say something. But if you just put your hand over your heart and extend it to them. So all those in the military, would you please raise your hand? From all of us, we extend this thank you to you for what you do for us. We truly appreciate it. We're proud of you. We support you, and we hope you all remain safe. Enjoy the day today, and thank you for allowing us to be here. Thank you.
We thank you for joining us once again for another program. We hope that you had a wonderful and joyous Christmas. Let's see, it's a Jewish Hanukkah or a African-American Kwanzaa. So those are the three special events that we want to remember that are taking place in a celebratory experience. And of course, hope you had a wonderful New Year's Day, and you made lots of resolutions.
Of course. See how long they last.
Last month when Neil was on, I expected him to break all of his, and I suppose you will too.
I'm sure.
Okay. You take care. Thank you for joining us, and tell your friends about the show, and invite them to tune in also. And we're always looking for more states that would like to join us on our 20-state network. Thank you. See you next month for Vets Visits on TV. Thank you for joining us for this month's show. Seen in over 350 communities for over 3,500 half-hour periods. Our websites have additional information about the show and are updated bi-monthly. To contact us, you are welcome to use one of these electronic methods. For all ground mail with questions, suggestions for future programs, you may use this address. Our IRS nonprofit status is 501c3, Information Education. The Minnesota Commissioner of VA and these state-level organizations believe in and endorse Vets Visits. Join us next time, won't you, for Vets Visits on TV.